Throughout 2015, the voice of women in their struggles for freedom and equal rights was louder than ever. Ever since the first blossoms of the Arab Spring in December 2010, the women of the Middle East and North Africa have only advanced in their struggles. They have successfully mobilized campaigns, formed alliances, created various networks inside and outside individual countries, shared their stories, and, most notably, promoted their secularist demands. They have utilized the internet and the social media channels it has opened for them to express themselves, share their stories, reach out, organize, break taboos, and, in a nutshell, raise their voice and demolish the walls of the age-old isolation in which they had to suffer in deadly silence.
تلاش‌های زنان در عربستان سعودی. لوژان طبق نقشه قبلی در دسامبر 2014 با توافق دوست ژورنالیستش بعد از گرفتن گواهینامه رانندگی از کشور دبی به قصد عبور از مرز به داخل خاک عربستان سعودی رانندگی می‌کنند. همانطور که پیش بینی می‌کردند، هر دو به مدت 24 ساعت زندانی شده و سپس به جرم سرپیچی از قوانین دولت حاکمه پرونده آنها به دادگاه مبارزه با تروریسم تحویل داده می شود.
It's not about driving. It's about control. To remind the women that we are controlling.
بعد از این اقدام شجاعانه از کمپین Women's to Drive بیش از پیش استقبال شد. از طریق مدیای اجتماعی زنان بیشتری، هزاران زن تصاویر خودشان را پشت فرمان رانندگی در توییتر و فیسبوک به اشتراک گذاشتند. نهایتاً در سال 2015 زنان نه تنها حق رانندگی، البته با محدودیت‌هایی رو، بلکه حق رأی و حق کاندید شدن در شورای شهر را برای خود کسب کردند. Anti-Islamist activist Elia Al-Mahdi gave the Egyptian Women's Liberation Movement against Islamism a global face and voice.
On March 8, 2015, thousands of women in Turkey marched and sang with banners that say, "I'm not your slave, mind your own business, no to your moral rules, I will not marry my rapist, and stop violence against women." Women in Turkey are divided not as Turks and Kurds, not as Muslim and non-Muslim or secularist. These days, the biggest rift is between those who defend silence and status quo and those who refuse to keep quiet with the face of the gender violence. Last year, women had organized protests against rape and violations and several campaigns such as kissing for minutes in public and wearing miniskirts.
Protest of women in Nepal demanding women's rights in the new constitution.
صدایم همیشه پر درد است بود نیست اما هوا سرد است خواستم بدوم زدن به کمرم خواستم فکر کنم زدن به سرم چهرم رو سوزاندن برام اسلام بینیم بریده شد برا انتقام اسید کشیدن روی دست و بدنم فروختن مرا که فقط یک تنم خواستم حرف بزنم گفتن تو یک زنی عقلت ناقص است تو علی یک سوزنی نگفتم نه نگفتم من مردم اما دلیلی ندارد بگویم زندم شبرم میتونم و من تجاوز کنم تا تو زن بگیرم و تمارز کنم آقای مردم و من دل نسوزانید و کلی دنیا گپایم رو برسانید
On March 19th, 2015, 27-year-old Farkhanda was beaten, thrown off a roof, ran over with a car, set on fire, then thrown into a Kabul river, whilst police stood around watching the whole savage scene. She was falsely accused to burning of the Quran by a powerful mullah in the area.
Shukriya said this was not just an attack on Farkhanda, but on all Afghan women. She said they've killed all of us.
Farkhanda was buried amid huge public outcry, her coffin carried exclusively by women in defiance of the Islamic tradition of men-only pallbearers and funerals. A mullah who defended her murder was chased away. Farkhanda, like most women, did not have a last name. Her brother changed his name to hers after this inhumane crime. During the year 2015, the brutal killing led to thousands of people protesting at several rallies in Kabul and other cities, shouting, "I am Farkhanda! Farkhanda is our sister! We want justice!" Some young men thought to do the same with the mullah who accused her for burning the Quran, but in the end decided that if they did that, how would that make them any different?
Women in Pakistan struggle against many issues including religious extremism, Baluch disappearances, American aggression, warmongering, poverty, and violence against women. Women's most recent victories are passing of the Protection of Women Against Violence Bill in Punjab and Hindu Marriage Bill in Sindh. Both spell key elements of protection for women against all forms of abuse and both have required years of women's activism to become laws. No women in the world have faced more attacks against their rights and freedoms than the women of Iraq in the year 2015. The women of Iraq have suffered enslavement and mass rapes at the hands of ISIS and violations of their rights by Islamists, the Iraqi government, and religious mullahs. The Yazidi women suffered especially after occupation of large areas of north and northwest of the country. Despite what they went through, the women of Iraq were a big part of massive demonstrations in Baghdad, Basra, Kut, Nasiriyah, Najaf, Karbala, Soleimani, and other provinces which have raised for the first time secular slogans and demands. Iraqi women found their hope in these demonstrations, and now the cause of women is being advanced in Tahrir Square in Baghdad and other cities. They are now for the first time out to explicitly demand secular changes that guarantee their freedom and full equality with men.
March 8th marks International Women's Day, and back in India's media spotlight is the story of 23-year-old Jyoti Singh, who was gang raped by 6 men on a bus after she was coming home from seeing a film with a male friend.
They're continuing to say that we can't admit that marital rape happens. We can't allow women to complain against their husbands of marital rape. These are all things which cannot have a place in modern India. We have to oppose it. We are going to demand and win these changes in the law.
सोसाइटी की एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है पेट्रियार्की.
Hindu temples in India have rules to make it clear that women who are on their period are not welcome inside. New president of the Sabarimala temple in Kerala takes this rule even further by banning all women who are menstruating age from the temple. His latest comments that women would be allowed to go in a temple if perhaps one day purity scanner is invented angered women's rights activists across India. As a response, college student Nikita Azad launched Happy to Bleed campaign on Facebook. She emphasized that this is not just a temple entry campaign, but rather a protest against patriarchy and gender discrimination in Indian society.